You laughing at Mark. My name's Buster, and I am an alcoholic. And can you hear me back there, jail? Yeah. All right. And I'm gonna try to tell you what it was, how I was, and what happened, and how I am today. And when I say I'm an alcoholic, all y'all in here know what I am. I got drunk, and I fell down, and I got in trouble, and I just kept on drinking and couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. Even though I knew I couldn't drink. But I didn't know how to stop. That was before I got up with Joe. I didn't know how to stop. And I tried all kinds of things to keep me from drinking liquor. But everything I tried, it made me drink more. Worrying about not drinking made me drink more liquor. And so, you know, I got 6 DWIs. One thing about drinking with me, alcohol put gas on my stomach and make me want to ride, you know. And I'm driving down the road with one eye closed, and and people don't like that. And I got 6 DUIs. And but what I got to do, I reckon, is y'all got me all crossed up there. And what I got to do is my sobriety date is June the 19th, 1988. And but for the grace of God and you people, I ain't had to pick up no white chip yet. Actually, I picked up 1 white chip, but every time I got a DUI, they send me to mental health, some kind of drunk classes. And so I've been to 6 of them. So that's equivalent probably to 6 white chips, probably. But I went to all those classes, and they were trying to teach me how to drink liquor at one of them. Let me drink an ounce here and an ounce of alcohol, 5 ounces of wine, and I believe it was 12 ounces of beer in an hour, and I wouldn't get drunk. And I couldn't do that because I got this compulsion for alcohol. And if I take a drink, I got to have it. And that's the way it went. You know, I see some young guys, I've been coming around these rooms a long time, and I see some young guys coming in here, and you know, I was 45 the time I got to those doors, 45 years old. And all that time was wasted. You know, you can lose your job, you can lose your wife, you can lose your house, you can lose all that stuff and get it back. You can get it back. But one thing you can't get back is time. Time, you can't get that back. And I had lost a whole lot of time down here trying to drink liquor and do other things and thought I was so cool. And I was getting caught regular. But I couldn't stop. I've been laying up in the bed by myself in the bed saying, I got to not drink today. I got to not drink today. Something I got to do. Something important needs to be done. And I'm laying there in the bed saying, I got to not drink today. And you know, I couldn't. And I ain't tell nobody, I won't talk to nobody but me. That's why this chip said, to thy own self be true. Because if I keep lying to myself, and it's killing me. I'm lying to myself. And so this goes on and on and on and on. And one time, when I was getting down to the wire, I come in here and I heard people say, I started drinking when I got married, I started drinking when I was in college, I started drinking when I was in the army. And I don't know when I started drinking. I don't. I heard I was drinking at 4 years old. And I ain't the only one in my family that drank. There was some liquor, wine, a buck or something around there. And that's probably how I got it, But I don't blame nobody for my disease but me. And I remember getting drunk when I was about 6. But I don't never remember not drinking. Some people go through a portion of their life and they don't drink, and then they get started drinking, and then they can't stop. I don't never remember not drinking till I got here, till I got to these rooms. Everything before I got to these rooms, I don't never remember not drinking. I remember when I could drink and not get sloppy. I remember when I could get kind of high, good high, and get up in the morning and go to work. And then, but it just kept going down worse and worse. And you get to the point where you ain't going to work today. You can't get up. And you got to start drinking that day to feel better. Then you can't go tomorrow. And it keeps going on and on. And not having a clue is what to do about it. Not having a clue. So I kept getting locked up with people. I was living down there on the county one time, and I was working at Springs Mill. And they give me 10 minutes to get to the mill to jail, and 10 minutes to get back from jail to work. And I didn't think that was that bad. Because they didn't lock me up. And I had to stay down there, but they didn't lock the cell. And it depends on who the jailer was. They would let me go outside and get some nab, drink out the little concession thing they had out there. And the mentality, that's the worst thing about this disease. The mentality. I didn't think it was that bad. I go to prison today, and guys in there locked up, and they think their life is unmanageable. And I can relate to them. Because they just think I have a little bad luck. Now, same way. So I had a little bad luck. And so when I got out of jail, I said, I won't never drink no more. I swore off alcohol. I ain't drinking no more. And the boys told me, said, Buster, when you come back, they bring us a new deck of cards because we about to roll these out. And I said, man, I used so-and-so, I ain't coming back here no more. And I mean it. But I went out 2 months. I was headed back more time. So they told me that if I go down to the treatment center, they might not lock me up. And I've been locked up a lot. I woke up in jail and in the hospital. And I ain't never been to treatment. So first I said, I'd rather go back to jail. I'm talking mentality. I said, I'd rather go back to jail. You weigh it out, pros and cons. and I said, I'd rather go back to jail than to go down to the nut house. Because I thought when they said they were carrying me to Lumberton, that you go to Lumberton or Raleigh, you go into the nut house. And I thought they would carry me to the nut house. That's where I needed to be, but I didn't know it. And so it took me about, I'm gonna tell you, it took me about 4 days to decide from going to jail, going to the treatment center. So I ended up going to the treatment center. And I got down there, and those people started teaching me about me and my disease. And you know, that was the best thing ever happened to me. They started teaching me about me and my disease. And I didn't know, I was like, I am. I started to say words, but I still am. And they started teaching me about praying and reading the big book. They told me, I'm gonna tell you now, some guy in here asked the question the other night, what do you do in sobriety? And that is the same thing they told me in treatment. Read the big book, get me a sponsor, get somebody to help you. That's what I call it. Get somebody to help you. And don't drink liquor and go to meetings. Learn a higher power. And you know, I still had to do that today. I do that today. But I stayed in there 28 days, and when I got out, I got tied up with about 5 more guys. I ain't had no driving license because like I told you, I had 6 DUIs, and I got 2 permanent revokes. And they told me that I would never operate another vehicle in the state of North Carolina on the highway. So I'm living out there in Law Hill, out there in the woods. And I ain't had no transportation. And I was married then. My wife would carry me sometime, but I don't know. I found out since I've been here that I ain't the same person that married that woman 20-something years, 23, married her back in 73. And I ain't the same person. And they told us not to make no decision within a year. And so she carried me a little bit. Then I got up with some guys, and they started coming out there picking me up, carrying me to meetings. And we went to meetings, and for about 2 years, a guy called me one night a few months ago, asked me to give him a ride up here. And you know, his daddy picked me up for 2 years. I mean, we went everywhere. And I said, look at that, coming back. Glad to give him a ride. And but them guys picked me up and carried me to meetings. And I didn't have to worry about going to a meeting. Never had to worry about it. All I had to do was pick up the phone. I called that boy daddy, and he said, where you live at? He didn't ask me what, nothing. He said, where you live at? I told him I live right down the road from him. He come out, we just rode around for 2 years and went to meetings. But, and things got easy, you know. Sometimes when you first get here, you're trying to figure out how you gonna make it without drinking liquor. And cause that's another thing with this mentality now, I'm telling you now. Cause my mind had me convinced that I couldn't go a day without drinking. Or doing something. And you know, it talked to me in my own language, and I got to you'll believe it. You know, you'll believe it. My disease talked to me in my own language. It tells me what I want to hear. And if I don't get with y'all, I start believing it. I start believing it. Because y'all come in here and y'all tell me the truth. Y'all tell me the truth. But if I get over there in that corner, get in that chair and get in that corner, sit over there by myself, and I get up here That's a dangerous place for me to be up here by myself. And I go back to me. I go back to me. It's just this disease that I have. It's just cunning, baffling, and it's powerful. And it wants me dead. And it's always trying to trick me. It's always trying to trick me. And it will. It will. If I stop coming here, if y'all stop seeing me over there on that wall a couple of nights a week, y'all say, well, he gone. Cause now the disease has got me. And it ain't nothing that, I mean, it should be something to be ashamed of, but it ain't. Cause disease of alcoholism, it's like the big book say, cunning, baffling, and powerful, and patient. It's got to put patience on it. It's patient. It'll lay dead and wait on you. Wait on you till you get a slack moment. And it'll zap you up. It'll zap you up. And I can't stress how much and how strong it is, because I've been here through 24 hours and I ain't drunk no liquor, but I will. I get to the point where I can't help but drink. And so God told me, after I was in here about a year, he told me, he said, Buster, so you start going to prison, you might not get locked up. So that was back in 89, I started going to the Wagham prison. And you know, I like going out there because, you know, I see me. I go in there and I see me. Some guys, we had guys in Scotland County going out there and said, no, I can't relate to them guys. No, I can't relate to them. I go out there and I see me. But for the grace of God and y'all, I see me. And I start going out there and in 89, and I'm still going. I was out there Wednesday night. I went to down in Wagham, they closed it down. I come up here to McCain, Hoke Correction. I start going in there. And then they built this place in Scotland, and I start going back there. And then they built another place in Scotland. So I'm going to both of them. And I go up here to Smyrna Colony 3 nights a week, 3 nights a month. Well, Monday, first Friday and the 3rd Friday and the 5th Friday, I go to the Smyrna Colony. And I relate to them guys. Them guys keep me green. They keep me green. I mean, I got to be green. I got to be green. Because if I get right, I got to keep growing. I got to stay green so I can keep growing. Because if I get right, Brent, I'm going to fall off the tree. What happens when you fall off the tree? Rot. Hey, you take a piece of fruit. And when it fall off the tree, you're going to look out there on the ground, you don't want it because it's going to rot. And it ain't rotten yet, but it's rotting. And that's what happened to me. If I get right, I'm gonna fall off the tree and fall out the group. Got to hang with this group. So if you don't believe it, go to Piggly Wiggly. The food line. Get you a bunch of green bananas. Carry them home. Take one off the bunch and lay it over there by itself. And leave the rest of them in the bunch. And that right there will get right. and rock for the rest of it. So it ain't a part of the bunch. And now, if you don't believe it, go down there and get some. And then tell me if I'm telling, if I'm but you got to be part of the bunch. That's part of the bunch. And that's why most AA meetings be in a circle, like, so we can draw off each other. We draw off each other. We get a strength from each other. And if you don't draw for each other in here, we go down to the corners, and we can't help but draw for them. They'll be doing what they're doing. They tell you that you do what they do what you do, you do what they do, you quit messing with them. 3 things gonna happen, and it's just the way it is, the way it is, and I hope I don't run out of gas. Guys, I love alcohol carried me places that nobody wants to go. I mean, I've been in the hospital and people bringing me alcohol in there, and I'm getting that sick. And I mean, people locking me up, and we had a tree in Law Hill, and you hung around the tree. And if you didn't have no money, I was poor. I'm a poor alcoholic, and you got to work. If you're a poor alcoholic, excuse me, you got to work to get your stuff. And you hung around the tree and you chipped in. If you couldn't chip in, you had to be the runner. If you couldn't be the runner, you know what the next one is. You had to steal it. But I did it. And I ain't proud of it. I ain't proud of it. I took money out of my children, out of my son's bank account, and I was gonna put it back in there Thursday. Thursday ain't come yet. And that's been 26 years ago. But I mean, you don't think what you're doing. You know, if you would think about what you're doing, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. Yeah, you would, because you couldn't. I couldn't help it. And I would go try to find somebody to help me. But I didn't know. I'd go down there around that tree and ask them guys. And they'll tell me, yeah, Buster, you're supposed to do this. And they under that too. You listen to them. And then if somebody that ain't drinking say something to you, you say, oh, they square and they ain't worth 2 dead flies and all that. And, but you always want to be with where you get broke at. Go down there and get beat up, robbed, come back cussing. As soon as you get healed up, go right back down. And that's why the big book, I mean, that 7th step up there. Saying, find a power greater than ourselves to restore us to sanity. Because it's insane. They say you keep doing the same thing over and over and looking for a different result. It's insane. And that's why Bill put that in that second step, that we find something to get us back to sanity. Because we are definitely, definitely insane. And it ain't something that you get cured up from. Because I see that guy on TV talking about that program they got. He used to be an addict for 10 years. Now he's not. I said, if you was, you will. Yeah, they talk about, yeah, I used to be, but I could say the same thing. But I'd be lying. Y'all wouldn't believe me. Y'all wouldn't believe me. I could tell you I used to be a alcoholic 25 years. But I ain't now. And y'all wouldn't believe that. Y'all wouldn't believe that. Y'all wouldn't believe that. And because I'm like Popeye the Sailor Man. I am what I am. And that's all that I am. And the highway patrolman stopped me one time. And he said, Mr. Fairley, y'all don't know my word, my name is Alexander Fairley. But I'm busted. And he said, Mr. Fairley, you aiming this car down the highway. And that song, this is crazy. It took me a while to get that. He said, aiming a car down the highway. And I ain't see how you could aim a car down the highway. But I probably was. And they locked me up. And then one time they gave me a daylight driving license. I had to go to a hearing, and after 3 years, they told me to go to a hearing, I could get my license back. I had a hearing, and I didn't pass. They were going to put one of them breathalyzers on my truck. And he told me that if I go ahead and take the test, that I was going to flunk it. And if I flunked it, I had to wait a year before I could take it again. He said, but if I just go ahead and pass, because I didn't bring enough people with me. That's all it was. And he said, if you go ahead and pass, so in 3 months you can come back and apply again. So that's what I did. And then they gave me a driving license from 6 in the morning till 8 at night. And I had to drive on that for 3 years. Then I went to Raleigh after about a year or so. I went to Raleigh and talked to them motor vehicle people. I was trying to get them to lift it off. And they told me that the guy said, what's the Social Security number? And I told him, he went there and put it in the computer. Then that thing said, whoop, 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 whoop. And all the stuff about like that come out of it. And he said, I don't see how you got what you got. And I just dropped my head and walked out. I ain't saying nothing. I thought he was trying to take what I got. But my story just like any of y'all. We get drunk and we have learned. I had to try to find somebody to teach me how to not drink. I could not drink. When you get to the point where you can't drink and you can't not drink, that's being behind a rock in the hard place. And the worst, like I said, the worst part about it, not having a clue, is how not to do it. And I had to get with somebody to teach me how to go one day without drinking liquor, knocking up dope, stealing people's stuff. All that come in the same sentence. And they did. Y'all did. But one thing about y'all teach stuff, but it won't last. It don't last. Y'all teach me stuff, but it don't last. You can't get enough to hold you. You can get enough to think you got enough to hold you. But then when you think you got enough to hold you, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. It's gone. It's like you got to keep going forward all the time. Keep going forward, striving for perfection. Because if you stop, you can't stop. You can't stop. You think you stop, but you ain't stopped. You think you stop, but you're backing up. When you stop going forward and think you stop, you're backing up. And you can't feel yourself backing up like a snake. You know, you ever see a snake, you stand there watching, and you see his head going this way and that way, but he's coming this way. He's steady coming this way. And if you ain't careful, he gonna get you. But if you keep backing up, and then you hit the wall, and I start cussing, I said, damn. How this happen? And it's because I start going backwards, and I couldn't see myself going backwards. And you hit the wall, you said, damn. I mean, that's what I do. I start cursing. Laying up in jail on the floor. In the hospital 2 days. 2 days in the hospital. Fell off a moped. And on Sunday, woke up Tuesday evening. And my doctor told me, said, Mr. Fairley, they real polite. Said, we're gonna keep you another day in case something might be loose up there. And it was. And so he let me out the next day, and I'm a son of a gun. I went straight to the liquor house. Fell off a moped drunk on Sunday. Wake up in the hospital on Tuesday. And get out on Wednesday. And go on to the liquor house Wednesday evening. And you said that ain't insane. That ain't insane. That's pure insanity. And can't stop. Can't stop. Don't know no way to stop. But the people that you hang with, they got all the answers. Them boys hang around that tree, you can ask them anything. They'll tell you. And you can take a drunk and set him up in a bar, let him drink about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Then go up there and ask him anything. I mean, anything. And he got the answer for it. You can ask him how they got that robot up there on Mars. He can tell you. That's the way we do. And I'm glad y'all let me come up here. I'm going to tell you one more little thing. This newcomer come in the AA, and 2 old timers were going to take him fishing. They get him in the boat, carry him out there in the water, and one of the old timers said, "Dog, I left my cigarettes in the truck." So he gets out the boat and walks back to the truck, get his cigarettes. And the other one said, dog, I left my lunch. He gets out the boat and goes walking up to the docking truck and get his lunch. Newcomer ain't saying that, he just sitting there watching. And all of a sudden he gets out of the boat and just goes straight down and drown. And the old timer told the other old timer, said, too bad he didn't stay here long enough so we could show him where them rocks was at. And that happens. That happens. Newcomers come in and think they know where the rocks at. They stay here a week or two, think they know where the rocks at. And they go out and drown. But if you knew, you ain't found the rocks, don't leave. Don't leave. Somebody will show you where them rocks are at. And I want to thank you guys.